Hey listeners, Hit the Books is available everywhere you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and more. Be sure to tune in each week and like, rate, and subscribe.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 33 of Hit the Books, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down the latest news and trends and offer up our best bets and betting advice. So let's hit the books this week. This week, we have a recap of the Masters and what took place in Augusta, Georgia this year. Plus, the NHL and NBA playoffs are right around the corner, starting this weekend and early next week. So we're excited to talk about that a lot during this episode. The MLB is in full swing, like we have said, and the draft is approaching for the NFL. So some moves and action in the league this week. So let's jump into this week's episode and start off by introducing my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Mackie, let's lead off with you this week. What's happening, dude? Another week in the books.
Just another week closer to the NBA and NHL playoffs. Obviously, the NBA play-in. We got night 2 tonight. We had night 1 last night with the Lakers and drawing a blank. Lakers and Timberwolves. No, who's the other team that came out on top? Who's in the East? Oh yeah, Atlanta. Atlanta with the upset. So good action in that so far. Got 2 good games tonight. So yeah, just getting ready for that. Not much going on. Got the Masters to talk about. That was another fun tournament. So that's it.
Good stuff, Mackie. Yet another week here doing the show. Let's shoot over to Ace. Ace, what do you got for us this week, buddy? Nice to see you.
Hey, how's it going, boys? Pretty excited to get talking this week as we have the NHL playoffs on the horizon, and NBA playoffs just tipped off last night, like Mackie said. Great Easter weekend with the family. Got to enjoy some of the Masters too, thanks to the delays, and been crushing the daily cards with the NHL, and we got MLB rolling now too, so we got 3 daily cards for you to be on the lookout for, and come playoff time, we're going to eat, so ready to get talking here, ready for another week.
Yes, sir. Huff, let's finish it off with you this week. Last but not least, what do you got for us?
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Happy to be back. Like you said, great Masters we had on Sunday. Great end of the tournament. Lots of other stuff going on. NHL playoffs getting underway the early next week. Going to talk a lot of that. NBA playoffs, as Mackie said, got underway the last 2 days as we've had the NBA play-in tournament rolling, and looking forward to watching the NBA playoffs as they get underway with the first round. So nothing else much going on with me. It's 412 day. Shout out to all my Yinzers out there. We got a lot of Yinzer listeners. Ace, I thought you'd love that one. Happy 412 day to you specifically. But other than that, not much going on with me.
Yeah, happy 412 day. Huff said it best. I think it's time that we jump into this week's episode 33 of this year. Why don't we start off with a little segment? How about we do top 3 sports movies? You know, what you think are the best 3 sports movies of all time, I'd say. I know a lot of us are probably going to maybe pick some hockey movies, but curious to hear you guys think. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I think we're all just gonna have a consensus number 1 here, but I don't need to go first. I want to hear what some of you guys go first. So
I'll go first. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not the movie guy on the podcast. Don't watch too many movies, even when it does relate to sports. I'm usually watching some pointless MLB game in the middle of summer instead of watching a movie. But a couple sports movies did catch my mind, I guess, or whenever I kind of thought of this, whenever we put this in there, ones that came to mind whenever I was trying to think of my list and to put them in order. They're not exactly all real. We didn't clarify this. Do they have to be real or just about sports?
No, just your top 3, no questions asked.
Yeah.
are you asking if you could put in Rocky?
No. See, I didn't think of Rocky. All right. Honorable mention.
Rocky?
No, I'm kidding. All right. No.
Yeah.
All right. In this
What?
order.
That's a good sports movie.
That's a good sports movie. In this order, I'm going to go 3 to 1. Number 3, I got Talladega Nights. It's one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies of all time. Love Will Ferrell.
That's a clutch pick.
Yeah, Talladega Nights at 3. Number 2, football movie, The Blind Side. Michael Orr, not necessarily the most factual movie, but we said it doesn't have to be very real. It's a pretty sad movie, but great movie. He ended up obviously having a pretty solid NFL career. Nothing crazy, but great movie on the other end. But number 1, we said at the consensus pick, I think it's going to be Miracle, but another one that I'm waiting to see, I haven't seen yet, and I'm interested. I really wanted to put this on my list, but I can't because I haven't seen it, is Air. I really want to go see that new Michael Jordan movie about the contract with Nike and the whole way he changed basketball and stuff like that. I don't know if any of you guys saw the trailers for that. I think that would easily slide into this top 3 for me if I have already seen it, but I haven't. I've heard great things about it. It got like 100% ratings everywhere, but I'll hand things back off.
Wait. You want to put a movie you haven't even seen before in your top 3 movies of all time?
Dude, I'm not even kidding. The trailers, like they looks that good. It looks that good.
No, yeah, I've seen the trailers. They do look really good, but that's a little bold.
Yeah, it's 4-1-2 day, Mac. You don't come at him too hard. Huff, I like the list. Tough scene. I didn't even think about us having the same one, but Miracle is my number 1. Get that out of the way now, but I'll still go backwards. I'll go with an honorable mention. Like Mike was my favorite movie growing up, but that's not in it. Just an honorable mention there. But coming in at 3, I will go with The Bad News Bears. Classic movie. Really like that one. A lot of good baseball movies. I try to get different sports in here. Major League came to mind. The Sandlot. But I'll go with The Bad News Bears in this spot. Coming in at 2, I'm going to go with Happy Gilmore. I mean, that movie's just vintage. You can't really beat that one. I don't know how many times I've watched it. It's endless. You could catch the beginning, the end. It's always great. You gotta love when Shooter McGavin's got to shoot the ball off of the big guy's leg, his old boss, chasing him down at the end too with the nail through his head. And coming at number 1, I have Miracle as well as Hockey Guys. I mean, you can't really miss out on that one. Or Brooks. I mean, so many iconic quotes. Is this about your test? I'll take your test. That's a good one right there. I mean, OC's back, baby. Like, he took the ring right off my fucking finger. Like, there's a lot of good ones coming out of that Miracle movie that, I mean, doesn't miss. So I agree with you there with number 1, Huff.
That was very New England of you.
Hit it, Mackie. What do you think?
But yeah, every movie we've said. See, I want to go a little different because you guys have said some movies that I did want to put in my top 3, but I'm gonna switch my list up just a little. Honorable mention, Blindside, actually probably my favorite movie of all time, but I'm not gonna put it in here because Huff put it in here. And Talladega Nights, also a great movie. But number 3, I'm gonna go Coach Carter, absolute gem. Honestly, I could watch this movie any day and just be happy with who I am and what I'm watching. Great story, great movie overall. Yeah, so that's number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna go Happy Gilmore as well, just because it's same thing. It's just such a classic, and I can watch it any day and just crack my ass up. And that's why it's number 2. And obviously, like I said in the beginning, we're all gonna have the same number 1. It's Miracle for obvious reasons. I think we're all a little biased growing up playing hockey, but yeah, it's definitely got to be number 1 here.
Mackie and I coming in with the same top 2. Way to be.
Love the choices, boys. Let me rip my top 3 real quick. Obviously, number 1, like Mackie said, I'm going to go with Miracle. But at number 2, I'm going to go with Kicking and Screaming. I think that's a fire film.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, can't beat him, right? And then at number 3, I'm going to go with Moneyball. Can't get enough of Jonah Hill, Brad Pitt. And an honorable mention, not necessarily a sports movie, but a sports gambling film. 2 for the Money, film about the Stu Feiner. Great film, Matthew McConaughey.
Still never seen it.
You gotta see it.
That's awesome.
It's great.
Never even heard of it. I gotta check that out now. That's something I'd watch. Moneyball, great pick, Jesse. I had that on my list too. That and Major League. I love the baseball movies. I feel like they're pretty good.
They are good.
Yeah.
Bad News Bears is hilarious. I mean, come on. It's got some good ones, but great list all around.
Heck yeah, great segment there, guys. Top 3 sports movies there for us. More of those to come. Let's jump into some golf here. The Masters was this past weekend. Lots of good stuff. And we have Jon Rahm coming in, winning the Masters, getting his first green jacket. Coming in at plus 850 to win the Masters. He entered the final round trailing Brooks Koepka by 2 strokes finishing minus 12 again to get his first green jacket. What do you guys think about that one?
Greater blow of all time. A 3-0 series or 3-1 series lead, or Brooks Koepka at the Masters on Sunday, Mackie? What do you think?
Yeah, so I was gonna come out and say, credits to John Rahm. Like, great, you won your Masters, but I think Koepka definitely lost it more than Rahm won it. Rahm was just consistent throughout the entire 4 rounds and finished plus or minus 10 to win the
12.
to win the minus 12. No, I don't think so. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he finished minus 12, which is actually pretty good to win the green
I
jacket.
was gonna say he was. I do agree with your point that Koepka was losing it more than not. I wouldn't say more than Rahm was winning it, because when I was watching it on Sunday, Rahm, there was at no point when he went up to a tee box, and I mean he had the one questionable drive. I forget which hole it was on, but he ended up finding
early.
his ball and making it. What'd you say?
It was early.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the final round, he lost his ball, gets it back, doesn't have any issues the rest of the round. I mean, I think, did he have a bogeyless round in the final round? Shot what, -3?
He averaged minus 3. I just think Koepka was minus 12 through 2 days. I mean, just play your game.
His play the whole weekend, though. It started on Saturday with that putt that rimmed out, and you could kind of just see it from there. A lot of people are saying that, and what my favorite takeaway of this whole Masters tournament, and I wish when Sam was on here gassing up all the live golf. What's funny is I heard someone make this point. Brooks Koepka, live golf player, was leading through 54 holes, and obviously at the Masters we play what is it 72? Yeah, couldn't finish 54 holes, 72 holes. Big difference there.
That would have been
John
something
Rahm's
if an
Masters champion.
Hey,
That would have
Huff,
been something if an
Huff, that's what I was thinking too when I was watching it. Everybody I was with was saying that putt right there that rimmed out, it was so clean too, and he was checking the green after too.
Yeah, he's like looking at it. It's like, yeah, dude, it happens.
Such a turning point, but everybody I was with was hyped because they all wanted nobody wanted a live tour guy to win it all. So pretty happy to see.
And I like Koepka. Like if and another live guy that had a hell of a tournament, Phil Mickelson, finishing second, like tied for second with Koepka. Like he silently had one of the best rounds of golf on Sunday. I think he shot a 68. I'd have to look that up. I don't want to hold myself to that, but I mean he is, how old is he? 40-something years old, 50-something years old, and he's putting himself, I just saw something, he was the oldest player to shoot that score at the Masters and ever. I mean, Phil, no one was talking about him coming into this weekend, and silently just finished his second. Everyone's talking about, did Brooks blow it? Did Rahm win it? And Phil's just silently sitting there with the second place purse. That's all he wanted. That's what he came for, just for the money. And I mean, obviously everyone plays to win it. You get that. I don't even know, dude. You got to win. How much money do you think you get if you win the Masters? Everything all in total.
12
I
million?
know you get like
The purse is,
I think it's like a $3 million purse.
Well,
No, it's like
15.
the purse is
15
lower.
for the whole thing.
I'm looking this up. I want the official number.
I believe it's 12. Yeah.
Second place is like $3 million maybe.
Yeah, that's another guy that had a good day to end out the tournament. Really, I like watching him golf. Scotty Scheffler. I mean, he's one of the top golfers in the world.
John
Rahm
Rahm took home $3.2 million. Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka $1.5 million each, and then it just kind of goes down from there. The total purse is $18 million. They have to all divide that up.
Split it.
I'm saying
I didn't know it went that far, to be
including
honest.
sponsors and yeah, so it goes the whole way. I mean, top 10 gets paid, 14 gets $342,000. 23rd, $187,000. 34th, $101,000. Top 50 must get paid because 50th.
He's got to make the cut.
50th
to the last
50th gets $45,000.
That ain't bad.
Sam Bennett, that amateur, was gonna make like
Zero.
$300,000, but he couldn't get paid.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that
say he
was
couldn't
hilarious.
accept it.
I thought he was gonna. I mean, coming into the second day, he was in top 5, top 3.
He finished day 2 down 4 strokes from the lead.
Yeah, I know a lot of my group chats were blowing up about if he wins and amateur takes it home and he doesn't get paid, that'd be a tough scene. But you know he's going to get
PGA
right on,
would be.
he's gonna go
PGA
right on
would
tour
love
right
that.
away. He's gonna go on tour right away. I think what they said after this tournament concluded, he can officially go pro.
I have no idea.
I believe so.
Yeah, I have no idea how college golf works, but he was having a hell of a tournament, and then To shoot, I think he ended -3 on the weekend,
-2.
and then the next -2, and then the next day he's at a college golf round, just carrying his own bag, walking around playing. Like, if I was playing against him and at college, I'd be like, yeah, this dude was just playing in Augusta yesterday. I'm good on this. He's probably gonna beat my ass, and I don't know what he ended up doing, but I did hear he had to fly back to A&M because he had a round or something he had to do the next day for Texas A&M golf.
That's crazy. I got a couple other points here for the Masters. Fred Couples made history this year as the oldest player to make the cut at the Masters. So great accomplishment for him. Another one here. Tiger Woods continued a streak of 23 straight cuts made at the Masters, tying Fred Couples and Gary Player as the longest in history. Very impressive mark for those players, Tiger and Fred.
Probably his last two.
Yeah, for real. And the last point I got here on the TV aspect is that the Masters had 12.06 million viewers for the final round this year. That's up 19% from last year's final round. So more people are definitely tuning into golf, especially I believe this year was the first year that they made the Masters.com, the broadcast everything free, like all the different holes and stuff like that. I think you used to have to go on ESPN and things like that. But
it's still so like messed up what they do with that stream. You can't watch on Saturday until 3:00, and the top 3 golfers are already through like 9 holes. It's just stupid. And then you go on ESPN Plus, and they only have featured groups. So if they don't have like the top 3, you can't watch it.
Right, that's a mess. What do you got, Ace?
They gotta do something about that.
I feel like the delays from the weather, the inclement weather there, really affected those numbers, because then you get a heavy amount of golf played on that last day on Sunday, on Easter. I mean, everybody's home, gathered around the TV. At least that's what I was. I went to a few different places, and that's what it was like everywhere I went. So kind of worked out perfectly for them. The perfect storm, I guess you could say.
Yeah, gotta give some props to the Masters ground crew, cleaning up that tree in record time, fixing turf, things like that. All the divots not there the next day, things like that. It's very impressive what they do and how they do it. I watched some stories on YouTube and videos on YouTube and things like that of turf has started burning, and they had 60 yards of turf up within seconds of the number 1 tee, first player hitting off number 1 tee, like crazy stuff. So big props to them. And another successful Masters in the books here. John Rahm, our winner again, his first green jacket. But I think that's going to conclude everything we got for golf for a little bit till we get to our next big tournament. So why don't we jump into some NHL? I got a couple points here before we get into what is to become the NHL playoffs. The first one I got here is on Monday night, the 1,000-point club grew by 2 when Claude Giroux and Joe Pavelski became the first 2 players to hit the milestone on the same night. They're now 10th and 11th active They're now the 10th and 11th active NHL players in the club, and the 96th and 97th of all time. So very impressive feat for those. I feel like every week we're talking about some new players that are hitting that 1,000-point mark. So it's definitely becoming more relevant. Some guys are in the league long enough to do it. It's great. It's impressive. Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, great accomplishments for those two. Been around the league forever, captained a few teams for the bulk of their career, and still getting it done at an old age. I'm a bigger fan of Joe Pa, an American hero. Him going to Dallas really resurrected his career. I kind of thought he was done for after he left San Jose, and he's really made his mark on that team, efficient on the power play too. Great centerman, great for the playoffs. I mean, he's got to be helping out those Dallas Stars. We've been riding them on the card too, and he's a big reason why. They have a big game tonight. Trying to close out that Western Conference is pretty crazy, but great to see this accomplishment for both.
Boston's 133 points breaks Montreal's 1977 record just days after setting the record for the most wins in a single season. The Bruins beat the Flyers to set a new NHL record with 63 wins in a single season just days ago. And with that, Linus Ullmark also has become the fastest goalie in NHL history to 40 wins as he sets the mark Tuesday night in his 48th start of the season at home against the Capitals. Boston just breaking records and doing more and more each and every week. We never stop talking about them. Let's shoot over to our New England correspondent, Alex Ventura. Ace, what do you think?
Dude, that 40 wins in 48 games is actually absurd. What was the next closest to 40?
52, I believe. There might have been a 50.
That's
That's
absurd.
even impressive.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you should see some of the names on the list. I looked at it. If you go to the NHL Instagram, I think it has it's like the top 5 of all time. But yeah, like you said, another career year, like more stats being broken week in and week out, and now the regular season wrapping up, and they're getting the accolades they deserve. They got the 63 wins for the history book. They got the 133 points for the record book. And like I said, I mean, obviously the regular season doesn't even matter once you get to the playoffs. But let's bask in this while we can. One more game to go. I mean, they're gonna throw out the Providence Bruins for this last one, but pull up that clip from before the season started when Mackey said, when I was saying this is the best Bruins team of my lifetime. Mackey's like, no way, you think so? I'm like, yeah, it is. And they were my Stanley Cup pick. I was saying they were the best team of all time, and now they have the best record of all time. So obviously, playoffs whole different beast. Any team can win. But regular season shows you that is the best Bruins team of all time, best regular season team of all time. So excited for these playoffs, but whole different beast. Excited to see who we get as we know it comes down to tonight, really.
Yeah, I get it. I've admitted that I was wrong about that. I don't know why you gotta keep going at me for it.
No, because now it's official that they're the best team of all time. You know.
Yeah, well, regular season.
Yeah. Obviously, no, Stanley Cup.
I was gonna say, hang the banner. Ask the Golden State Warriors what that's like.
No, but
without a ring on your finger.
That's a pretty cool record to break. I mean, NHL and old league, that's a tough thing to do. 63 wins, 133 points. Gotta give credit where credit's due.
Would you rather be an 8 seed that sneaks into the playoffs and wins the cup, or get that record and lose in the first round?
I want the cup no matter what. You kidding me? That's the LA Kings. They did it twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to get the cup.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I'll give you your props.
Like
I've said that.
I want to see
gross.
the Panthers. I want to see Panthers Bruins first round.
I think it's gonna be what if the Isles lose and then the Pens just go on to lose? It's just like heartbreak and both teams going cold to the playoffs. Whatever we get. That's best
Dude,
case
if the
scenario.
Isles lose in regulation and the Pens don't win next game.
Hey, if the Penguins don't
I'll
make the playoffs and the Bruins don't win the cup, we both didn't win the cup. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's. I think I sent you guys that thing on Instagram the other day. It said "Cup or die," Boston, Cup or bust. A few other teams. It's like, yeah, they're not wrong. Mackie, I saw you see where your team stood in that ranking, huh?
What did it say?
I think it was Pretenders.
I think even Ryan Whitney and Biz are on the Rangers train nowadays, so I don't really know how much of pretenders that team is, but I'd say we're pretty much cup or bust this year too.
No, you're so young. That core is so young. They're not that peak yet. I don't think. I think they're 2 years away.
That's insane to say.
Yeah, and I've seen so much stuff about people saying like, there's really only one goalie with the pedigree of this playoffs is Vasilevsky, but you'll see the Rangers fans are like, Shesterkin's right there, but it's like, he did it once. Let's see if he can do it again.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it. You know, we have nothing to show for it. I mean, he has one playoff run.
I know we're gonna get to this in a bit
Never
when we
know.
go over the Eastern Conference, but you shaking in your boots a bit to see those Hurricanes round one if they don't end up being
Oh
the
my
Panthers?
God, I'm praying to see the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are not a good hockey team right now. Svechnikov going down, huge loss for them. They really can't seem to figure it out ever since he's been down. You know, they're losing games left and right to pretty bad teams too. I think they're kind of all over the place right now. I'd love to see them slip to that 2 spot.
Yeah, I agree. With all those injuries, they're such a different team than they were coming into the season and really when they had their peak going. But I still feel like I'd take those New Jersey Devils in the first round. Just that home ice in Carolina is something to play for. Better goaltending, better coaching, and a lot of guys with championship pedigree on that roster. I still think battered, injured, they're tougher out than the New Jersey Devils.
No, I'm scared of the Devils, not going to lie. Devils beat up on us. I know it's a different beast in playoffs. We all know Devils have zero experience there, and they're not really a rough team, which is it's definitely more of a rough game in the playoffs. You got to be gritty and dig deep. But
it's nicer to go
to
It's nicer to go like less than an hour away to go play in the Prudential Center than it is to go down to Carolina and play in front of a bunch of jerks. It's a tough place to play in the playoffs.
Rangers swarmed that arena last year. They had to stop letting
Did that go
you had to have
7?
a zip
That went
code,
7 though, right?
Yeah, it went 7. We won Game 7 in Carolina.
Yeah. So
Because it was Carolina won every single. I think they won every single home game throughout the
except for 7.
playoffs and lost every single away game throughout the playoffs, and then they just lost that last home game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they're going to do in the playoffs come time with all those injuries, like you said. So a lot to look forward to. I know Jesse's got a lot more interesting NHL for us.
Yeah, you guys talked about the Devils there, possibly a powerhouse here coming into the playoffs. We have Luke Hughes joins his brother Jack Hughes on the New Jersey Devils as they push for the playoffs. And Luke closes out on a stellar NCAA hockey career last weekend. Luke played in the game on Tuesday, came away with 2 blocks, 1 takeaway. And the Devils said they're excited to have him on the ice for the playoffs. So to see more of that brother duo will be very interesting, I think. Any comment?
Mackie, I'll be the one to say it. I'm not scared of the Devils. If I'm a Rangers fan, I'm not scared of this Devils team. I think you guys take them in 6 games, maybe 5. I'm not kidding. I think the experience is really going to show for this really young Rangers team or Devils team. I think you guys are going to have your way with them. I don't mean to be like the guy that's like putting all the confidence in there, but I really don't see a situation where the Devils win this series.
Huff, who would you rather see if you're Mackey? Would you rather see the Hurricanes or the Devils in the first round?
Devils.
Totally
I know they're
agree.
good. That's the thing is they're good with the Hurricane. I don't think there's a bad matchup. I like this Rangers team to come out of the first round.
I don't think I think we're the best team in the Metro in the playoffs by far. I don't really think there's any team that I'm scared of to get to the third round. Whether we play Devils first round, Carolina second, or Devils second round, Carolina first, or whatever it is, we have to play a wild card team in the second round. Until we see the Bruins, I really don't think we're running into a wall. And I think if we do see the Bruins, we can even maybe cause some damage. I don't know, but if they're that deep in a playoff run, I think it'll be tough. I'm kind of hoping you guys get beat prior.
Yeah, I mean, you want to know an interesting series to look at? We talk a lot about the Bruins and Rangers matchups. This one that's been locked in the most all year, that Tampa Bay Toronto series. I honestly think that the Leafs get over the hump this year. In that graphic, I keep referring to it. Their prop wasn't cup or bust or anything like that. It was second rounder bust, which I think is very true.
Yeah.
But I think they get over the hump this year. I mean, that Lightning team's been there year in and year out, but this is finally a year where they're not as deep as they were. They've lost some pieces. Obviously, Vasilevsky, Kucherov, Hedman, Point, all scare you. Stammer too. But I think that Leafs team added a lot. Their goaltending scares me. Their defense scares me. But they can put pucks in the net, and you have no. They lost guys like Palat and no other names that are slipping my mind right now. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that one?
Toronto, I like Toronto in this matchup too. If you're going there, if you want to talk that series, I think that's the only one that actually has. I think it's technically officially locked in, so they have series odds out on it. And so the Maple Leafs are a minus 150 favorite to win that series, and I do like that. I think that's decent value there too. I mean, you're starting out in Toronto. I think they win game 1. I don't know. It's a tough spot. I want to say I don't see a situation where Tampa leads in the series, but to just throw Tampa under the bus like that, I don't know if I can do that. So I think this is a 7-game series for sure, but I think the fact that it's going to be in Toronto for game 7, I think that helps the Leafs out a lot.
Dude, that's crazy that you said that. I mean, you're right. It's the only locked-in matchup, so they have odds. That changes my outlook on that series big time. I don't know if I'm going to touch it. I think the Leafs come out, but the odds on the Bolts being plus money to beat the Leafs in the first round. Oof.
Well, dude, I don't think the Lightning are anything what they used to be in these past years, even from last year. They just don't have any depth this year.
Oh, I agree. I just
said Leafs. Vasilevsky's going to have to do a lot to even steal a few games from this Leafs team. I think they're a far better team. Obviously, we know what this team comes to when it comes to the playoffs. They just never seem to perform. But I just don't think the Lightning are that good this year. I think that the Leafs will definitely be able to handle them. Obviously, the goaltending might be able. Samsonov looked incredible the other night though against the Panthers. I think he had like a 50 save, 1-goal win in a shootout. But obviously, Lightning are favored in the goalie category in that series. But I don't know. Vasilevsky's going to really have to do some damage, more than what he's done in the past to win the series, I think.
You know what's tough is you say that Vasilevsky has to carry the load, and the thing is, like, if you went around the whole league and there's one goalie to do it, who's done it, it's literally him. And how often is Hedman and Sergachev going to be on the ice? We talk about this depth. I'm just second-guessing my pick here just because they're going to be on the ice the whole game. Kucherov, Point, Stammer, Hedman, and Sergachev are going to play big minutes. I feel like they're going to try and hide that depth. I think it catches up to them and the Leafs get through, but that's got to be the toughest out in the first round is the Bolts as underdogs. Who's the higher seed?
Leafs. Lightning
They're not
they're not even gonna reach 100 points. They fell off heavy.
Still tough out.
Yeah, I'm not too scared of the
yeah,
Lightning for sure.
I actually think it can go maybe like 5 games, 6 games.
The Leaf stigma, though, just scares you to take that, huh?
The only thing we've heard how many years have we heard this is the year the Leafs are going to do it. This year the Leafs are going to do it.
But
And,
they've run into a good team. I don't think the Lightning are good this year.
They've seen them a lot, though.
I'm saying, but it's also like this is also the year that everyone is kind of saying that Toronto is going to get the job done and get out of the first round, and it would be so perfect if they didn't, because then I feel like Matthews just has to leave Toronto. It's like the same situation with McDavid in Edmonton. You just got to get the fuck out of there at that point, right?
Yeah, McDavid wins some playoff series though.
Feed me a Game 7 and the Leafs blow a lead and then lose in overtime to the Lightning just so we can see those fans out in Toronto. They'd be home, but still.
If the series goes 7, there's no way that Toronto wins that game.
No.
There's just
No
zero
way.
chance, no shot. But I don't think it gets there. I think it could actually be done in 5.
I'm just waiting to see those fans losing it on live TV, but I'll take it in the second round against the Bruins. That'd be awesome.
It'd be like Vancouver in 2011 when they burned the city down.
Couple more points here in the NHL. Erik Karlsson became the first European-born defenseman to reach a 100-point threshold in a season. 6 defensemen all-time to do so. So yet another very impressive feat there. The NHL playoffs are almost set. They're starting here April 17th, early next week. So lots to look forward to there. As we've been saying, you guys have been saying the Devils may or may not be a powerhouse, young team, things like that. But the Eastern Conference wildcard race has lived up to the hype as we've been talking about the past few weeks. The Panthers clinched a playoff berth as they currently sit in the wildcard 1 spot with 92 points. The New York Islanders currently sit in the number 2 spot with 91 points, and the Penguins sit just outside looking in with 90 points after losing on Tuesday night to the Chicago Blackhawks. All teams have 1 game remaining, so the Pens are looking for, I believe, the Islanders to lose in regulation tonight and things of that nature. So what do we think is going to happen in this wildcard race?
Don't you wish that like the Isles at least had to earn it? I mean, they get dealt Montreal for their last game of the season.
It's so fucking annoying, dude.
That's what I was going to say.
Just
That
like
was my question, Hop, before you get into the wild card with your Pens. I was just saying, if this was like 2 months ago and it's just like another game in the middle of the season, how much are you putting Isles minus money line minus 1.5 on the cards?
I saw the -1 and I was like, Hop is not playing Isles tonight.
I can't.
But Mac, you see Montalban there, like that's free money sitting right in front of you.
Dude, I don't know. Canes can play spoiler tonight. They want to. They know what's going on.
This is the
then
Canadian.
again-
It's like the Stanley Cup for these kinds of teams. Like they love. Imagine being able to bounce a team from the playoffs. That'd be so much fun. If you're not in, like that's the
Yeah.
best next best thing you can do.
Oh,
Because you're like,
worst case,
we are the reason.
worst case
Then
though,
you know who else gets to play that
is
card?
is if the Isles
Yeah.
just go and lose in overtime. That's
The
worst
Blue
case for you.
Jackets.
Mm-hmm. There's no worse scenario than if they lose in overtime.
Yep. That's just
Like tie it late.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tie it
that'll
late.
suck. That'll
Like
suck.
Canadians are up 2-1 late. Stupid power play, like a dumb high stick or something. Maybe a 4-minute, just because Vegas wants them in. And then, they tie it. Lose in overtime, get the fucking loser point. Oh, that would kill me.
Who's
What if
scoring
it's
on
like tied late? What if it's
Jesse
like
and
tied late and
Hmm?
Montreal pulls the goalie because they know the stakes
And
they're
they-
just like, fuck it, we're here for one reason, play spoiler.
Jesse and Huff, you guys have
I'd like it.
Never been bigger Montreal fans in your career.
That
Who's
and-
actually putting up puck Bass Sorokin tonight?
Everybody is in Pittsburgh will be watching this game.
But who's gonna score on Sorokin?
Cole.
Cole
I don't
Caulfield.
disagree. Yeah.
That's it.
No, it's
Yeah.
Josh
I need a
Anderson's
hat trick.
pretty
We just need
good.
one.
Josh Anderson.
Yeah, I like Josh Anderson. There was a
Leave it
rumor
up
he
to
was going to
Cole.
be traded to the Penguins a couple times. I wanted him, but we'll leave that. Now I'm gonna need a couple goals. I'm gonna need a big game. Like you said,
Montalban.
it's not the odds are stacked against them. The Islanders, I think, are a -400 money line. The Penguins were a bigger money line last night. Keep that in mind.
Montalban though, like you thought watching Jerry was bad this year. That guy stinks.
Actually, wait. I said this. So say I said the worst case scenario would be the Islanders losing overtime. No, worst case scenario would be Islanders lose like 5-0 tonight, and then the Penguins go to Detroit and lose 3-0. Like it's not even a game.
No, it's Columbus.
Or
Columbus,
the Islanders lose tonight or win tonight or lose tonight in regulation. Then the Pens go to overtime and lose in an overtime or a shootout to end their season.
Yeah,
like
a
Flames.
shootout. We end the season on a shootout like the Flames. Yeah.
That's awful.
Is that game Thursday or
Yeah,
Friday? Depends in Columbus.
Thursday. It's tomorrow.
Is it Columbus?
Yeah, it's
home?
Columbus.
It's Columbus. Yeah, you get the worst team in the league. You literally played the two worst teams in the league to clinch it, and
you couldn't do it.
you couldn't get it done. Malkin is kicking himself for not coming to New York.
Mackie, I'm telling you, Isles lose tonight, and then the Pens lose Thursday, and they go in ice cold against the Bruins, no confidence. Like, give me that.
I think the only team that has a chance of putting up a fight in that first round against you guys is that team down in Florida.
Speaking of
Ace,
that wild card race, that's so weird.
Ace, you keep saying you don't want to see Florida. Every time the Penguins have played the Bruins this year, it's been a 1-goal game. Every single game.
But we've won every game. We've lost to the Panthers.
You guys have won every game, almost every game against every team.
No, we lost to the Panthers though, like once or twice.
I did see that somebody said Panthers are. I think it was their announcer though. Penguins are a team that the Bruins don't want to see in the first round, and I kind of just sat and thought to myself, like, I don't think that's true at all. But I think the Penguins needed to get that first wild card to have a chance of getting past the first round.
People don't look at how crazy the points are though. Like literally, that Panthers-Canes game on Thursday night is so important because the Canes need those points to ensure that they get that 1 seed in the Metro. But at the same time, the Panthers need those points to ensure they don't play the Bruins in the first round. So there's a lot of different scenarios in who wins, who doesn't. Panthers, Devils, Hurricanes, Isles, and Penguins all have huge games these next 2 days, and a lot can change for all of them.
Total side note. I'm watching the IVSPN on in the background right now. Michael Wilbon is talking. I have it on mute, and the headline is this the last dance for the current Bulls roster? What does that even mean? An injured Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine?
When did they ever dance?
Yeah, they ever danced?
No.
All right, but go ahead, Mackie. What were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. Are you sure it's regulation wins and it's not just regulation/overtime wins?
I know you don't have a tiebreaker.
I've heard multiple people say we don't have any of the tiebreakers.
Because the row is like an actual stat, and that's regulation/overtime, and you guys only have 39 of those, so you're still losing the tiebreaker. But I was just curious to know if it was like actually regulation or if it was ROW, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I tried to look it up. I think I did see regulation wins, but I've just heard that on multiple different sports like shows that it comes down to regulation wins.
Oh, I've had that game go last night. It was 1-0. Then I saw you sent the gif of Malkin to make it 1-1, and then it just slipped through.
He scored a huge goal to tie it in the second, and a couple minutes later, Chicago made it 2-1. And I was telling Mackie the first goal was like, I mean, you're a hockey player. Defenseman shoots it from the point, hits the defenseman's stick in front, hits the post, and goes in. Like, Jari didn't even know where the fucking puck was. So it's 1-0 Blackhawks. Penguins get a power play. They don't score. Penguins get another power play. Go right back on the power play. It was literally like the refs wanted us to be back in the game. I'll admit that. We score on the power play. Malkin scores. Then a couple minutes later, I forget who it was, scores to make it 2-1. Then like 2 minutes later, Andreas Athanasiou is just skating all over the place. Looks like Connor McDavid. Fucking scores, make it 3-1. Yeah, literally. Makes it 3-1. I'm like, this game's over. I thought there was a chance we could have scored. I thought the refs were on our side so much that at 2-1 we were going to get another power play late, and that was going to be our chance. Was that power play? But once they made it 3-1, I'm like, you're not scoring two. Mrazek was standing on his head most of the game too. He played a fucking great game.
He was always supposed to be good. I met him once in the NHL All-Star game, but he has the ability, but he's always hurt. That's crazy, though.
He was all right in Detroit. He was in Detroit. I mean, I like the Red Wings. He was in Detroit when they weren't very good, yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. Good luck to you, but I have the Isles on the card tonight.
Yeah,
Chris Sale gets
the odds
lit
are
up in the first inning.
me.
Looking forward to a huge NHL playoffs coming up. We need a lot from the Habs tonight to take care of the Islanders for our Penguins to have a chance. So we'll see what happens coming into that. I got one more point here in the NHL. The NHL announced that their global series will move to Australia for the first time in the league's history, as they plan to play in Melbourne on September 23rd and 24th. The Kings and the Yotes playing 2 preseason games there. What do you guys think about that? That's pretty interesting going out to Australia. I think they did London and junk last year. Germany, maybe. A couple different things. Switzerland, maybe. I can't remember.
Is it a preseason game?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
it's
go
cool.
global.
But
Trying to expand the game.
Yeah, it's cool. That's all. All right, let's shift our focus over to the NBA. Lots to look forward to as the NBA playoffs start this weekend, April 15th. But we have the play-in tournament that started already on Tuesday night, the first game being the Hawks and the Heat, and the Hawks winning that matchup 116-105. And the second matchup also on Tuesday was the Timberwolves and the Lakers taking down the Timberwolves 108-102. For the first time ever, all 4 California teams, the Kings, Lakers, Clippers, and Warriors, are officially in the postseason, as well as, for the first time ever, all 3 teams from Texas, the Mavericks, the Rockets, and the Spurs, did not make the playoffs. All right, in the first series we have is the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets starting Saturday at 1 p.m. The odds pretty heavy in the 76ers' favor. They're set to win the series, or their odds to win the series are minus 900, with the Nets coming in at plus 600. What do you guys think about this first series starting on Saturday?
The Nets are here for one reason, and it's because of the 2 players that they shipped off halfway through the season. I think it should be pretty easy for the Sixers. Joel Embiid's playing the best basketball of his career. He's pretty much locked in that MVP. I don't see him going out in the first round, especially not this year.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a big prop night or prop tournament or series for Joel Embiid. He's going to have his way the whole time. They might sweep him. I think the Celtics swept them last year, even with some of those big names. But I think the Sixers get the job done easily. Crazy price there, but yeah, I like the Sixers team a lot.
yeah, I'm right there too. I think the Sixers get the job done. The series spread is 2.5, and it's a minus 162. So they're definitely thinking they get that job done in 5 or less games. So I do like the Sixers here. Like you said, Embiid wrapping up an MVP season, and I think they got their eyes set really just on getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and worry about whoever they get there. And then obviously you got your eyes set on the finals, but the East is so tough. They're going to have a tough matchup. But like you said, I think they could possibly sweep this Nets team.
I like the minus 2.5. I don't think the series goes 6 games.
No, I agree with you, Matt.
Yeah, I
I
do
could
too.
see 4-0 or 4-1.
4-1 maybe, just because you got to give them one just in case. But
But like
the
not
Clippers
even
could
though,
have
like not
55
even though.
points.
Like I'd like
You
to
don't
look at
have
the
to,
odds of a
yeah.
sweep. I'd like to look at the odds of a sweep because unless Joel Embiid tweaks his back or gets injured or sits a game for load management in the playoffs against a bad team,
Sixers 4-0 correct series score on FanDuel plus 270.
that's a good play right there. And then what do you have them 4-1, Huff?
4-1 Sixers is plus 175.
So you could play both and even make
Wait.
money there.
Win money.
Sixers 4-1 is plus 175,
Yeah.
but the series price is minus 2.5 at minus 160.
162, and the sweep
How
is
else?
plus 270.
How
So if
else
you-
would they cover 2.5 without winning the series 4-1?
They don't. They would sweep.
It's the same exact bet. That one's plus 160. That was minus 160.
Well, you're betting that the Nets they have to win a game.
Yeah, but you could just do
Oh,
like
you're
I
right,
said,
you're
and
right, you're
if
right.
you put it this way, just put it in normal terms. If you put $100 on both 4-0 and 4-1, you get 275 or 175. Worst case, you're making 75. Best case, you're making 175.
And then it goes 6 games.
Worst case,
and
you
you
make
lose
0.
2 units.
Yeah, and then it goes. I was gonna say until the Mikal Bridges carries them for 2 games.
No, but I'm just saying. I honestly think it's a sweep. But if you just want to,
No, I agree. I like that. I like that idea. That's a good play. That's definitely worth it in my opinion.
I think it'll definitely hit, but I just would never do that just because of my luck. It would go. McCall Bridges would have 45 points in Game 5 and send a Game
Or Embiid
6.
gets hurt in Game 1.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
that's
too
that's the
many
thing.
too many uncontrollable factors that I
But
wouldn't double down
plus
like
two
that.
seventy on the sweep. I like that.
It's very interesting betting smart here, boys. The next series we have Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Boston Celtics in the Atlanta Hawks. Celtics, the heavy favorite here at minus 1,000. The Hawks sitting at plus 650 to win the series. Ace, what do you think? How are your Celtics going to fare here?
I think this is just another box they're going to check very easily. They outmatched them everywhere along the board. This Hawks team almost blew a big lead to a bad Heat team that can't really score any points. In the play-in tournament, I think they're just happy to get past that first round, or get into the first round, I should say. I like the Celtics to sweep or win in 5 here as well.
I think we're looking at the same exact situation. You might see Trae Young go off and steal a game, but I don't see this series going more than 5 games either. Top 3 teams in the East are just kind of locked in, I think.
I think this is another, like Ace said, this is the exact same situation. And I just looked at the 2 bets that we were talking about for the last series for this one, and the series spread is Celtics minus 140, so it's technically less. And also, the series correct odds are the exact same at plus 270 and plus 175, I think was the other one I said, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense because I think this Hawks team is definitely more capable of winning games than this Brooklyn Nets team. But yeah, I don't see it happening.
Let's jump over to another series here on Saturday, 6 p.m. The Cleveland Cavaliers versus the New York Knicks. A little closer in odds here. The Cavaliers are the favorite at minus 200 to win the series. The Knicks are plus 165 on their side. Mackie, your New York Knicks.
Yeah, getting into this series, definitely the best series coming into the East. Obviously 4-5 should be the best series, but obviously the 4-5 is supposed to be the best series, but in the East this year, it's definitely not even close. What did you say series price was? I think the Cavs are minus 200 or 150.
Minus 200, Knicks plus 165.
Okay, yeah. I like the Knicks value here. I think it should be more maybe minus 140 plus 120, maybe something around there. I don't know. I think I like this Knicks team. Jalen Brunson, if he's fully healthy, I know he's had some injury problems, but I like him. Julius Randle needs to get back fully healthy. I think this team can definitely make an upset in this first round. I like the Knicks to win the series, but they got to be fully healthy. Jalen Brunson's got to be 100%, and this team just has to play their basketball. Obviously, Cavs have Donovan Mitchell. They have all that height with Jared Allen too. So tough team to beat. Tough team to go to for 4 games, and it'll be tough. Yeah, but I like the series. I like the Knicks to come out on top.
Yeah, Mackie, that Knicks team, that's a tough matchup in the first round. I do agree that they get the job done. I honestly, no, cut this take. I don't have a good enough take for this. Cut that. I do think
Emmanuel
Knicks
Quickly's
win
going to
it,
be a huge X factor in this series. It matters what he does. If he obviously he's coming off the bench because you have Jalen Brunson starting, but he's a huge factor in this series of what he can contribute off the bench.
just so much unknown with these two teams and the youth of the roster going into the playoffs for me.
Part of me, Mackie, I hate to say it, but part of me thinks this series is going to show you why the Knicks should have signed Donovan Mitchell.
No, I can definitely see why you would take the Cavs in this series. I'm definitely a little biased because everyone in New York wants to see this Knicks team win so bad, and I think it would be electric. But I can 100% see this going south for them very quickly.
And it's going to be, that's going to be the headline if he has a crazy series and you guys lose this series is, should the Knicks have pursued Donovan Mitchell? And, I don't remember exactly how that went down or how he ended up in Cleveland, but I know. Did he get there through the trade with, is that how Colin Sexton got to Utah?
Yeah, it's exactly how.
Okay, so he was traded, but
here's the thing.
I don't know. It's
you
tough.
take Donovan Mitchell off that Cavs team and put him on the Knicks. The Knicks are probably a top 3 team in the East. I know obviously the top 3 teams are really good, but they're right there with the top 3 teams in the East. So did Donovan Mitchell make the right decision even if they win this series? I don't think so. But yeah, it's good. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Headlines are going to be talking about Donovan Mitchell.
I don't know. I kind of lean Cleveland here. Sorry, I hate to say it.
No, it's all right.
I don't like
I'm not
the.
a
I
huge
think.
Knicks fan.
I think it could go 7 games. So I think it could go 7. But I like Cleveland to get the job done.
The New York memes are going to be back though. All the people outside
Yeah.
of Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
With that, we got one more series here starting on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. The Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. Battle of California. The Golden State Warriors are the favorite here at minus 285. Sacramento Kings are at plus 230 to win the series. What are you guys thinking about this one? Again, Battle of California.
The Warriors are the first 6 seed since 1990 to be favored over a 3 seed.
That's crazy. We called that too.
Yeah, but like think about it. It makes sense. Like why would the Kings be favored here against all that?
Right.
Like we're so big on experience in the playoffs. I think that it comes into play here more than ever I think that we've seen. This Kings team is obviously brand new. Not many of them have made it to the playoffs. Obviously, I think Sabonis has made it 1 or 2 times. But this Kings team is good, but they're very inexperienced. You're going against probably the most experienced team in the NBA. I really like the Warriors in this series. It's going to be tough to steal one on the road. You know how bad they are on the road this year. But they're not going to drop one at home, and I think that they could figure one out on the road. Sacramento's maybe an hour and a half from Oakland, so it's not like they're going too far. I think they'll be able to figure it out and win this series.
I agree, but we've been looking at this series spread continued through all these series, and it's Sacramento plus 1.5, plus 140. I
Game
like
6 is in Golden State.
that. I don't know, dude. I think it's a
That's-
close series. I think it goes. I think too many people are writing off this Kings team. This Kings team is very good.
I think if
Like you said, they're not tested.
I think if the Warriors are home, it might go 7, just because I think every home team would win every game. But I think that they're gonna. This team is not gonna get swept going to the Kings. I think they're gonna steal one on the road, lose Game 5. They'll win both at home. Lose Game 5, and then they'll win Game 6, win the series 4-2. That's just my prediction. But I do think if it goes 7 games, Kings will win the series. So if you think that plus 1.5 is a good play, I think that you should just go with the series.
You
play.
just take the series. I don't think
That'll be the story.
I don't think they
that'll
win
be the story
series.
of their season. Just can't win on the road all season. You get to Game 7 in the first round. Can't win on the road. But I don't.
That's
I
what
don't
scares
think
me
we
with
see
them is they can't win on the road.
We're gonna see. It's set up for. The only problem is that it's LeBron now against them. But I thought it was set up for Warriors Grizzlies in the second round, and that's who it would be if they both win.
That's what I want to see. I want to see that rivalry come about. I do think the Warriors get the job done. The Kings are no slouches, like Huff said. Both teams will be fully healthy with their top guys going at it. I could see a 6-game series here for the Warriors, but the experience coming through in the clutch and Wiggins Thompson hitting those big shots while Curry does his thing. And you know Draymond Green will show up and have some big plays as well. I like Steve Kerr and the boys to get it done. I like watching the Warriors play, and I can't wait to see them play Ja in the second round. Won't be easy, but I think they take this one.
I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Kings take Game 1.
At home,
Yeah.
yeah, they probably will win Game 1.
All right, I'm just saying. You guys are talking like it's gonna be a five game series. You say like maybe 6.
No,
I
I
think
just
6.
said I think it's gonna be 6.
All right.
Dude, the Kings are good. Don't get me wrong about that. I like the Kings. I just think again we talk about all this experience. I know it's different than NHL, but you're going against the most experienced team in the league against players that have never even seen the light of day in the playoffs.
See, I don't know if that's just because I'm a hockey player, but I do think it's so different in the NBA and the NHL come playoffs. Like the game, I don't think it changes that much as it does in the NHL.
Because the NHL turns into a completely different game. It's a skill game in the regular season. It's just a hard, gritty, fought game in the playoffs. I agree, but I don't know. I think it's still
I think your
That's why
regular
the
season
Warriors-
game translates. Whereas in the NHL,
think-
like we sit there all season, we're like the Devils are pretenders. The Devils are pretenders. This game doesn't translate to the playoffs. Like this Kings team compares to exactly what that Devils team is doing. Just like success out of nowhere. Haven't had the great recent success. And I don't know, a lot of people are picking this Devils team to go further, and people say the NHL playoffs are harder.
But I think like the only reason the Warriors beat the Celtics last year in the NBA Finals is because of experience.
I agree with you, Mackie.
So I mean, like that's my logic behind it. It does come into play. The Celtics made a lot of
I get on the big stage.
Year.
I'm saying in the first round. I don't think the first round. That's like these playing games. Like
it
I don't think
is the big
is,
stage
like,
for a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 1991.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And they match up pretty well together. When you think about it, Darren Fox is their leading offensive threat, right? Steph Curry is the same thing, but better.
I think Draymond on Sabonis is
like-
going to be big. I think Draymond, that's who they need on Sabonis.
Think about
He's
the
going to get David a
nerves,
little,
too.
obviously, the
Oh,
size.
you're like, oh yeah, we finished nice and high in the Western Conference. They're like, oh good, we have to play the Golden State Warriors in the first round. The best shooters of all time. Healthy. Wiggins back. Draymond Green.
Finally get in.
Nobody's rooting for you. Probably a lot of Warriors fans in that stadium. I know those ticket prices are high, but I don't know. Give me the Warriors here.
We will see what happens in that series. The Battle of California there starting Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Got a couple series to review here for Sunday. The first one starting at 3 p.m. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Grizzlies are the favorite here at minus 140. Lakers right behind them, plus 120 to win the series. A lot closer odds than most of the other ones that we've talked about here. What do you guys think? Think the Lakers can pull off that plus 120?
Yeah, I don't know if the Lakers have the value here. I think as a 2 seed, the way the Grizzlies have played this year, I think if you're going to bet on the series, you're going to take them at minus 140. But that being said, this isn't even a hot take at all. I think everyone knows this. I think it just comes down to how Anthony Davis comes out and plays in this series. Easily, in my opinion, could be a top 5 player in the world at any time. I'm not saying that he is right now, but I think at any time he can come out and be a top 5 player in the world. And obviously when you have LeBron James on that squad as well. I mean, this team I think they have the best record in the league since the All-Star break. They were like 17-7 or something like that. This team flipped a switch. They made a lot of moves. I think the Lakers can definitely win this series, but I wouldn't take the value. There's no value at plus 120 coming in as a 7 seed. I don't know. I think this is going to be a really good series, though. I think it can go either way. I don't know. I don't really have a pick on this. Not even gonna lie. I think it definitely.
I think this series is definitely going 7, but I do think the Grizzlies squeak it out. I would take them on that minus 140 money line, especially starting the series at home. I think it's gonna get worse. Tough place to play in Memphis. I know that you have LeBron and AD. They're gonna keep it close. They're gonna do all they can, but I still don't think they have the best help around them. I think Schroeder's gonna give them points off the bench and some buckets, but I still think the Grizzlies have a better bench. Those Grizzlies really want to get to that next round and host the Warriors.
Do you think Steven Adams being out is going to be a big factor? I mean,
yeah, I definitely think that's going to be important. If they had him, it would definitely. I think it could be less than 7, but with that, I still think they get it done. The Lakers being old, that they already had to play in the play-in game, right? And if this is a grinded out series, I like the legs. Ja Morant having the time off. I like the younger legs in Memphis. Better shooters on the outside. I think that they can put up enough points each game. It's going to go 7. The Lakers are going to get theirs in LA, I think. But give me the Grizzlies. Huff, I'm guessing you're on the Lakers. I do have a Lakers futures ticket sitting just at great odds from a week or two ago. But I think the Grizzlies take them out here.
I think I like the Lakers to win the series, and that I'm obviously a LeBron guy, I'm a Laker guy, but I like the Lakers to win the series. I think they definitely split in Memphis to start. I think they come back to LA. I like the Lakers in that spot to either split or I hope they can go to 2-0 at home and take a 3-1 series lead back to Memphis. But thing is the Grizzlies haven't been great on the road, like you said, Mackie. They're without Steven Adams and. Gonna have to keep Ja Morant out of all the nightclubs in LA while they're on the road, or the Grizzlies aren't gonna be playing too well in games 3, 4, and 6. So
not a good place for Ja Morant to go in the first.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is a
do
perfect
you mean
storm
keep
for LeBron?
Do you mean keep Ja Morant out of the clubs or keep Ja Morant's gun out of the clubs?
Both.
Keep that strap in his pants.
LeBron wants him in the club. LeBron's getting Ja Morant table service, front row, all the strippers, 50 grand on the floor. Go ahead, Ja. Have the night of your life in LA. I'll take the first round dub. You go home. I'll go play Steph and the Warriors in the second round.
He's like, yeah, Ja, you're a superstar now. I do this for all the superstars coming in. Give him a bunch of strippers and stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bron.
Ja Morant's going to be the series MVP. Mark my words. I think he's going to go off this playoff run.
Well, if they win, I think that's
I'll tell you who it's not going to be. Dylan Brooks, the most overrated dude in the NBA. The only reason he's in the freaking news so much is because Clay keeps giving him all the news that he wants.
I'll tell you what, it's keeping him relevant, so kudos to him. But, yeah, I think that's why nobody in this world is rooting for the Grizzlies in this series.
I think Desmond
Such a
Bane has a
hateable
big
guy.
series.
He's so ugly, dude. He's so ugly. I don't like him. Anything about him. I don't like his game. Nothing. Keeps talking to like all these really good players on the Warriors. Like, dude, do you know who Draymond Green is? Like,
Huff, you're buying into it, though. You're buying into it. That's exactly what he wants. You're worried about Dylan Brooks. Meanwhile, Ja Morant's posterizing your best player.
Doesn't matter what we're worried about. We're not playing the game.
No, I know, but that's what he does on the court, though. He's taking Klay Thompson out of the game, you know.
No, I see,
Klay Thompson banging that three and right in his face while he's on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get what he's doing.
I'm worried.
I get what he's
biased,
doing, but I like the Lakers in this spot. But I kind of agree with Mackie. I don't see the value at the plus 120 like they're a 7 seed, but
You're a 7 seed.
if I like them to win the series, I like them to win the series.
Take them plus 1.5. I know it's probably like minus 150, but I don't
Minus
see them
250.
going. Take Grizzlies minus 1.5.
All right, let's move forward to this last matchup here on Sunday at 8 p.m. The Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers. The Suns the favorite here, minus 525 to win the series, and the Clippers are plus 390 on the opposite end. What do you guys think about this one? Any slight?
Pretty sure no Paul George, right?
From my understanding, yes.
Let me look at that right now. But I think this is a tough out. Like, all these teams that are getting these top seeds are playing some valid teams. Kawhi Leonard, I know that we've hated on Russell Westbrook enough, but he's a bucket. He gets his. If you don't bring your A game, I mean, a team that was just put together has injury problems, but I mean, it's the Phoenix Suns. I think they get by, but I do think the Clippers take a few.
I would love to see the Suns go down. I don't like the Suns at all. I don't like Chris Paul. I like Kevin Durant, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him lose right now. With that being said, you can never really count out the Clippers when Kawhi Leonard is on the court. So I think it'll go. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for the Suns. I think they're going to run into their problems. I think Kawhi Leonard steals at least one game, probably two. I think it could go 7 games, but I don't really see a scenario where the Suns lose this series. They just have way too much star power. What are they? Have they lost yet with KD? I don't think so. So it's proved that it's working. Everything's working with KD in that system on that team. I think the Suns are definitely the favorites to come out of the West, and I think they definitely run into their problems in the series, but I think they come out on top. Just too much star power, especially with Paul George out. I think if Paul George is playing in the series, completely different conversation, but you know he contributes just way too much for this team to overcome right now, I think.
Yeah, I do think that the Suns are heavy favorites. Kevin Durant on the court is tough. But if I looked at any value in the first round, this would be a value play of mine just because of the names that the Clippers have. They have some depth. They can beat good teams. They play good defense. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but that's a seed with a good value there.
Definitely agree. I mean, you have Kawhi Leonard at, what are you, plus 350 in a series? He could definitely steal. And we saw Luka steal one against him last year, so we could see him do it this year against that powerhouse Suns team. I'd love to see it.
Alrighty, well, with that, why don't we run through who you guys think is going to win the NBA Finals this year? We got the Bucks leading at plus 265. The Celtics behind them at plus 310. Suns at plus 425. The 76ers at plus 950. The Warriors at plus 950. The Nuggets at plus 1100. And the Lakers at plus 1600. Obviously, we have the Grizzlies, the Cavs, the Clippers, Kings, Knicks beyond that. But what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to come out on top this year?
It sounds homer, but I do think this is the year that the Celtics get it done. They were there last year. They're only better than they were before. But I do think the winner comes out of the East. If you're not going to play those Celtics and you want to say it's homer, I do think the Sixers have it. I know that the Bucks, a lot of people like them, and everybody's caught up with the West, but look at the value on those Philadelphia 76ers. A great team. I would like to see Eastern Conference Finals between them and the Celtics. I think whoever comes out of the East actually takes it this year. A lot of stuff going on out West, but three solid teams: Bucks, Celtics, Lakers, or Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, in the East that I think have good value to go on and win that. I wonder if you guys. I'm guessing you're both going to take a Western Conference team, but
I'm still gonna ride with my pick of Milwaukee. I've had them most of the season, and I'm gonna ride them. I don't like to see them slip down to be the favorite, but I'll take the Bucks. I do still think that they get there. But as far as coming out of the West, I've said the Nuggets. I'll probably still go with the Nuggets. Maybe the Lakers. I don't really know what I'm liking out West. The West kind of keeps shaking up, but I'll go with one of those two. Maybe I definitely like the Bucks to win it.
Yeah, I like the Bucks to get out of the Eastern Conference for sure, but I think we're gonna see a Bucks Suns a rematch of 2019, I think it was, rematch of the 2019 finals, and I think we're gonna see a different outcome this time. I think Kevin Durant's gonna be enough to get over the hump over in Phoenix. I don't want to see it at all. I don't want to see Chris Paul get a ring. I don't want to see Devin Booker get a ring. But I don't know. Kevin Durant is just so good in times like these. You know, he's the first player in NBA history to have a 55, 40, 90 season. He just did that this year. Yeah, I just saw it the other day, which is insane because we were talking about when Steph Curry did 50, 40, 90 like 2 years in a row. It was like absurd. Kevin Durant just found a way to top that. So, guy's a sniper. I think he kings himself again this year and tells everyone else to shut up, saying that he's riding the Warriors' coattails because he is the best player. He is the best scorer in the league, I think, and I think he could be the best player in the league if he was consistent enough. He's going to show it this year.
Alrighty, good stuff there, boys, out of the NBA. The NBA, lots to look forward to as, again, the playoffs start this weekend on the 15th. So make sure to keep an eye out for all the plays that we have and all those different matchups across those series. Let's move over to the MLB. The first point I got here is the Tampa Bay Rays stay hot as they approved 11-0, tying their franchise record for the second longest win streak. Top pitching prospect Ty Bradley has been called up to try and make it 12 in a row against the Red Sox. What do we
Which
see
he's definitely
happening?
going to do.
You think so, Ace?
It's looking pretty solid. Ride it till the wheels fall off. What did I say, Mackie? I don't even know who that pitcher was. I said minus 130. I'll try for 12-0.
Chris Sale's
they're up
getting
6-1.
jumped in the alley right now.
That
3.2 innings pitched, 6 runs.
3.2. I say he's gonna play 3 innings and he'll be done. Boom.
Nah, he's going 3.2
Bang.
right now. He's still going. He's still in, but
done. He's done.
yeah, Randy
6-1,
Rosarina had a
cool.
3-run bomb in the first inning.
This Rays team, how many we think they can get after? I mean, we've been on them for what now?
They slow
For
down.
a week.
They're gonna slow down. It's a 162 game season. It's inevitable to slow down, but
Ride it till the wheels
or
fall off.
164. But I don't know how this team. But this Rays team coming into the season, I don't really think that they had too much hype coming into the season. But Jesus Christ, this team is overperforming out the ass.
I'd love to go down to a Rays
They really
game
are.
down at the Trop.
I've been
And
there
they have
before.
no
It's-
fans.
I know.
No, they're getting a lot more. Did you guys follow Jared Carabas? I remember one of you said that you do. He had this
I know
tweet.
who that is. I used to.
Yeah, he had a tweet up the other day. He said, "Do you guys just watch? About 5 to 10 years from now, this place is gonna be sold out because before it was an old generation of fans of a bad team, and these kids have grown up only knowing good Rays teams, so they're gonna be big fans."
It's not in Tampa though. It's in St. Pete's.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
the
far
whole
from
problem
Tampa.
about Tampa is that it's not in the area, and that's why they don't really. I don't know. That was the whole argument about them.
It's about
You
30
don't think they
minutes
draw
south.
too well? Yeah, I've
Also,
been there.
Jared
been there a
Kravis
couple times.
was a hard follow. He's just so Boston biased. I'm so sick of listening to it.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Luis Arias hit the first cycle in Marlins history on Tuesday versus the Phillies. He was acquired in the offseason's high-profile deal that saw Pablo Lopez go to the Minnesota Twins. Pretty big feat there. First in Marlins history, first cycle. Any comment on this?
My only comment on this is that I just randomly took him out of my fantasy baseball lineup yesterday before this happened. So.
Nice.
Why would you
Or 2
do
days
that?
ago, whenever this happened.
He gets like 2 or 3 hits a game.
Nah, because I like Ty France, and I wanted to play Ty France, and he had like 0.5 points the day before, so I was like, all right, I'll try Ty France out there.
Both Ty France and Luis Arias should be in your lineup every day, Mackie.
Why? They're both first basemen. How am I going to play both of them?
Arias
Give
plays second
utilities?
base and outfield, and Ty France plays corner and field spots.
Arias is listed as a first and second baseman, and Ty France is a first baseman, but I also have Glaber at second.
Yeah, got to figure out a way to get them both in. They're both batting second on their team, second or third on the given night, and they put up so many hits. I don't think Torres is hitting that high for the Yanks.
My team is just stacked. Yeah, maybe I should throw in Louis over Torres. Good idea.
All right, the final point out of the MLB for us this week is Fernando Tatis Jr. is set to make his 2023 debut as he came off a suspension. As he's coming off the suspension list for using performance-enhancing drugs. This will happen in about a week, adding to an already prolific Padres offense. Do we think the Padres will continue their... are they doing well this year? Their success?
Yeah, they've had a big power surge. They're not as good as they should be off the gate, but getting Tatis back will jumpstart that offense a bit more. Bringing in Bogarts has really helped. This is my World Series pick. I think the San Diego Padres are going to take it this year. So much talent. I know you guys are wary of their staff, but it's better than you'd think. A lot of teams around the league don't have that good of a staff, and that offense is insane. And Josh Hader closing the door for them. I think they're gonna be a tough out. I think they could get to the 100-win mark as well, but time will tell. It's still early on.
No, I like this Padres team. I'm higher on them than Mackey. I really like the trio they have of Soto, Machado, and obviously, like you said, getting Tatis back. And a guy that's been on the IL that I like is Musgrove, a former Pirate. I definitely root for him and want to see them have success out there. But the NL West has been kind of a shakeup to start. And I said, you guys keep sending plays involving the Diamondbacks, and they're like, 6-4? I just can't
8-5.
predict their
They're
games.
ahead of the West.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're leading that division right now, and the Dodgers sitting in the middle, and that division's kind of a shakeup all over the place. And I haven't really had too much success calling Diamondbacks or Rockies games so far this year, so 2 teams I'm kind of staying away from right now. But, yeah, I definitely think the Padres will get things on track, especially with Tatis coming back, and I think they're going to win this division.
Think about that lineup. You got 9 spots to hit, right? You have Soto, Tatis, Machado, Bogarts. They have Ty Grisham in center field, who's pretty good. They have a few other names that are escaping me right now. You guys got the rest of that line? Anybody else in that lineup?
Cronenworth.
Yep, Cronenworth, super utility player that can hit the shit out of the ball.
They used to have Will Myers. He's a Red now.
Let me check right now.
Trying to think.
They have Nola, who's all right. That's
Yeah,
really it.
Nola catching.
Matt Carpenter, who was only good for the Yankees. And
They have
nobody
Nelson
else.
Cruz as a DH. They have Matt Carpenter. Nelson Cruz and Matt Carpenter are great to have off the bench.
Matt Carpenter was
Nelson
only
Cruz.
good in New York. Do not be happy with him.
He was good on the Cardinals.
He was terrible before
He
the
was a
Yankees
starter.
got him. I think they signed him for the league minimum.
No, yeah, he had like 1 or 2 bad years, but then his heyday was with the St. Louis Cardinals.
I was going to say, he used to kill the Pirates.
Yeah, but he's old now. I mean,
He's a
he
former
was
All-Star,
terrible.
but the thing is, they don't play every day at all. They literally only come off the bench. Your infield consists of Bogarts and Machado and Tatis, and you have what's his name, the Asian segment, Ha-Sung Kim. He's pretty good, but
they don't really have the rotation. But I don't know.
yeah,
I'm just not
I think
high on
it's
this
better than
team,
people
man.
think. Darvish,
They have
Snell,
Seth
Musgrove.
Lugo starting pitching.
Yeah, but he's in the tail end of their rotation.
Yeah, Michael Wacha. Obviously, you have Darvish and Snell, but Snell gets fucking
Like Huff said,
all
Musgrove
the
coming
time.
back too. with Waka as your forward.
Yeah, that'll
it's
be
not
big.
a bad.
That'll be big. No, yeah, I like this team, but again, it's the MLB, and we could see anything happen to any team. Not a lot of teams make the playoffs in the MLB, so you could see a team like this slip out of the playoffs. I think. Again, you can also see
lot of seasons.
You can also win 105 games.
Yeah, my money's on them though. That's the one future I've placed so far is for them to win the World Series.
I don't mind the play. You probably get good odds on it too.
Yeah, I can't remember. Let me check real quick. But you guys put anybody in yet for a long shot for the MLB?
Let me see some odds. Look into it a little.
I haven't, no.
I know I locked one in a while ago. Let's see.
I like the Texas Rangers to make some noise this year.
I got the Padres at plus 950 on the 27th of March. Those are pretty good odds.
Win it all.
Yeah.
What? Plus 950. Oh, they're fucking 6th or 5th.
I got the Padres at plus 1,000 on FanDuel.
Yeah, they're
I got
one of
them
the
plus
best. That
900 on
lineup's
DraftKings.
that lineup's got to be the best lineup in the league.
Yeah,
Some team
I
like
would say so.
Best lineup in the league.
Yep, Soto,
Them, the Braves.
Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, Cronenworth, Cruz, Grisham, Kim. Like that's deep. They have 5 All-Stars batting their lineup. And Nelson Cruz, who hits bombs.
I agree. Like I said, I think them and the Braves.
But meanwhile, they still have the LA Dodgers sitting right there in their division. So, like Mackie said, not many teams get in. So that'll be an interesting race down the stretch.
I think that's going to wrap up what we have in the MLB. Like I said, season's in full swing, so we're going to have new stuff each and every week about what's going on in the MLB. So let's move over to the NFL. We've got some big news that the Ravens announced OBJ has agreed to sign a 1-year deal worth up to $18 million. The new deal reportedly includes $13.8 million signing bonus, a $1.16 million base salary, and $3 million in incentives. So lots to look forward to there for the Ravens, but still no Lamar Jackson signing there. What do you guys think about this, OBJ to the Ravens?
That's all that matters is the Lamar news. I don't really have a take on this until then. Huff, I don't know what you had to say about that.
Coming from a Steeler fan, I love it. Give the guy that hasn't played for a year $18 million and eat up a lot of that cap space so the Ravens don't have much else to do with it. I love it from a Steeler standpoint. I think it's way too much money for him.
I think Lamar was thinking more of the lines of D-Hop, not OBJ, when he said go out and get me receivers, but I don't know.
You don't think he was talking about Nelson Aguilar?
No, I thought
you
he was
don't think
talking
that was a
about
part
him.
of the deal?
No, yeah. But what does this do for Lamar? That's the only thing we're going to talk about with this.
Hey Lamar, we got you
closer?
some weapons. We got you Nelson.
Does he like this though?
We got you Nelson Aguilar, and we got you Odell Beckham Jr., who hasn't played since the Super Bowl with the Rams.
If you think about it, though, those options are light years ahead of what he's had. Like, literally light years ahead.
OBJ is not a consistently
Rashad
good receiver.
Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay. Rashad Bateman was injured for most of the year. It was Devin Duvernay and whoever the hell else they could roll out there. I mean,
I'd rather Marquise Brown than either one of these guys.
You're missing the point when you say that, though. You keep saying it's better than what he's had. That's why he wants to leave Baltimore. They won't give him.
I agree, but it does help a team that's always in the hunt right there. I think Odell Beckham Jr. fits the scheme of that offense perfectly, though. The way Lamar Jackson plays. If he can stay on the field, it's a lot of money to give up. I don't think those are the answers at all. I don't think it helps sway Lamar Jackson, but I do think they're good fits that they got onto this team at a late part of free agency.
I just keep seeing all the memes, and it's like Odell whenever he realizes he signed with the Ravens to play with Tyler Huntley, and it's all this.
I do personally. Back on the Lamar news, though, I think the Ravens are handling this. Obviously, they could have done it differently, but I think they're handling it the best way. With his demands, they're kind of outlandish, and nobody wants to give him that money. You give him the tag that they gave him, where they can match whatever everybody else plays him, you're going to pay him his real value that way. He's going to be on the Ravens, I think, and they're just waiting to see how much they actually have to shell out to keep him.
The problem with him is that he's asking for something that nobody's offering. It's not even like he's like, hey, can you guys match this offer that somebody gave me? Like, no, you're not being offered this because you're not worth this, or people don't
Deshaun
think you're
Watson
worth it.
broke the market. That's all it is. He ruined the market for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's a much better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. Even though, I mean, Watson hasn't even played in 3 years, right? And he does. If I
That's the only reason.
I deserve it.
That's the only reason that he's better than Lamar, though.
Yeah, agreed. If Watson played the whole time,
he's better than Deshaun.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. But let's see how it is. Lamar's the better quarterback now. I mean, if I were him, I'd want that much money if I just saw someone worse than me get it. So he broke the market. Thanks, Cleveland Browns. Stupid organization.
So my next question is, so Lamar signs a deal right now for not what he wants, not the fully guaranteed deal. He ends up settling for somewhere in the ballpark of $40-some million and not fully guaranteed, but still getting around $35 to $40 million. What happens when Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert sign a contract in the next summer or two?
Oh, yeah, I've been thinking about that too. What about the weirder thing to think about is because those guys deserve the money.
You know Joe Burrow is getting what he wants.
But no, he deserves it, though. It's weird to think about guys like Daniel Jones and Mac Jones who get these lucrative contracts when they don't deserve them. At least Joe Burrow's earning his money.
Everyone's getting too greedy.
Yeah, the quarterback market's broken, but that's why the Philadelphia Eagles did it the right way and paid the veterans and then got there with a rookie quarterback on the rookie deal.
That's the formula in the NFL now is just win on a rookie deal.
Be interesting to see how the Ravens news unfolds, though. I'm sure we'll be covering that for a while.
Oh, we will be covering that week on week. I guarantee it. I think there's going to be a lot of speculation about what Lamar is going to be doing here in the coming weeks, and I think we're going to have a lot to say about it, so I'm excited for that. The next point I have here in the NFL is that New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley does not plan to sign his franchise tender before the team's upcoming offseason program begins on Monday, making him ineligible to participate. Adam Schefter reports. I think this is very interesting. He's, I say, a big piece of that team, but what do you guys think? Curious.
Is he under contract? This doesn't mean are they still waiting I thought they just franchise tagged him. Or he didn't sign it yet. Is that what's going on here? Do we know?
He doesn't plan to sign the franchise tag.
Correct. He did not sign the franchise tag.
Okay, so I mean, I guess at this point he's just gonna wait until right before the season. I feel like, but I don't know. It's a tough situation when your quarterback gets $40 million and you're the reason they were that good, and you get the franchise tag for 1 year. But
that's
being
a
NFL
running back, though.
backs.
Yeah, it's just being a running back.
All right, I think that's just going to about wrap up what we have going on in the NFL. The draft coming up at the end of this month, starting on the 27th. I think we'll have some info to cover on that in the coming weeks. With that, the college transfer portal also opens up at the end of this month, May 1st. So we will have some more details on that as well. But I think that's just going to about do it here for us this week. I don't have anything else to add, but thank you everybody for listening each and every week. You guys got anything else to add?
It's going to do it for me, yeah. Like we said, we got both playoffs coming up. NBA playoffs basically started already. NHL playoffs starting early next week. So stay tuned for the cards. Definitely going to be locking in and doing our best to get out those winners. So that's it for me.
Yeah, like Mackie said, definitely stay tuned to the social media for all the plays and everything like that. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs coming next week. I may not be on the episode next week. I don't know. I'm going to Vegas on Sunday to Wednesday. I don't know what time I get home on Wednesday. So pending me not on the podcast next week, I might see you guys in 2 weeks. But that's going to do it for me. Thanks for listening. See you guys possibly next week, possibly in 2 weeks. It's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, the boys said it best. Another big week here. Can't wait to see my Bruins getting some playoff hockey, getting some more NBA action. And the MLB's heating up too. So loving life right now. Let's go Bees. That's it for me.
And that's going to do it for us on this episode of Hit the Books. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here, so please like, share, and subscribe wherever you can. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our plays each and every night in the NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. Thank you again, and see you next week.